that, women's sport has suffered another shocking blow in Massachusetts after a high school hockey player had 2 teeth knocked out when a ball was smashed at her by a male opponent. The injured player's captain, Kelsey Bain, said afterwards, "My teammates were sobbing, not only in fear for their teammate, but in fear that they had to go back out onto the field and continue a game against a male athlete who had hospitalised one of our own." This traumatic event sheds light on the rules and regulations of male athletes participating in women's sports. Back in the UK, alarming incidents like these have sparked the newly created Declaration for Biological Reality. Its supporters are refusing to bow down to the extreme trans lobby, instead expressing their very serious and growing concerns about the impact that gender identity ideology is having on our society. Among the high-profile signatories is former Olympic swimmer Sharron Davies, who joins me now. Sharron, crazy that we need a letter declaring what a woman is and what a man is. Why have you signed it?
Evening, Mark. Evening, everybody. I think really because I just genuinely believe that we're not doing anybody any favours at the moment by just not telling the truth. The truth is that human beings cannot change their biological sex. You know, there is a difference. There is only 2 gametes. There is a male and a female gamete. It takes one of each for us to reproduce. Even people with the DSD, differences of sexual development, are still male or female. So to tell young children that they're born in the wrong body and to line them up for the rest of their life to never be able to be what they're aspiring to be, and to give them medication which is probably going to shorten their life and certainly basically create them, make them a patient for the rest of their life, is just unbelievably cruel. And also, obviously, from a sports perspective, which is where I've always come and it's my area of expertise, is I cannot, after hearing that story today, about those hockey players, I just cannot get my head around what we are doing to women's sport. And things like hockey, we've got 6 contact sports in this country, combat sports. These are fighting sports where it's self-ID. We've got 50 males that identify into women's football at the moment, and we know that women have 6 times as many knee injuries. They have a different Q angle. We're biologically made different. And the whole reason we have women's sport is to give the equality to females that males have had and enjoyed for decades, that women have been constantly just playing catch up on. So I come very much from the point of wanting fair sport, and for that to be based on biology. And for us to do that, we need to be able to talk reality respectfully and, understand people's challenges and understand what gender dysphoria is. But we must not be lying to people. And I think it's things like same-sex attraction. Now, lesbians are bullied into relationships with women that have penises. Well, women don't have penises. They don't. And women are not raped by women with penises. They're raped by men. And we're not putting the victims first, and all of these things just make me so cross that we just can't talk honest language, and that language is disappearing. And the fact that we have things like the public sector, it's not neutral anymore. We've just been talking about the BBC. We need to be able to have faith in our institutions that they're actually representing all of us. And it doesn't feel that way at the moment.
No, briefly, Sharron, if you can. I mean, there are people, trans people who feel that they're in the wrong body, that they have gender dysphoria. They could be deeply offended by this declaration that you've signed. What would you say to them? They want to identify as a different gender. Why can't they?
Absolutely. And they absolutely can. That's the whole point of all of this. I don't think that is what anyone is trying to say with the declaration. The declaration is out there now. It's been live for the whole of today. It's got over 10,000 signatures already. This is about just being able to tell the truth. So where we need to get to is the respect for someone that's a transgender woman or a transgender man, but not to chant this mantra that a transgender woman is a woman, because a woman is an adult human female. And we need to be able to protect language so that we can protect females, so that we can protect children, so that we can make sure that someone that's male can go and get a prostate check, and someone that's female can go and get a cervical check, because that's the biology that we have. And we need to know that, because otherwise mistakes are going to happen and people are going to be in danger, and that's ridiculous.
Most definitely. Sharron, always a thrill to have you on the show. We'll catch up soon. Former Olympic swimmer and women's rights campaigner Sharron Davies.